Okay, let's put this front triangle together. I have no idea why it's called a front triangle, because that is a quadrilateral after all. So we want this to be 20.5 inches center to center. So we'll mark it right there. Okay, this oriented so the headset is 73 degrees, which is sort of what we want when the bike is constructed. Oh, look at that. Look at that. Let's grind out our loads. Okay, let's clean off our rust and oxides, because if you leave them on there, you get a pretty bad join.
Cameo appearance by the cat. Faithful cat watching the video.
Alas, our front triangle is complete. Now I gotta soak it in water, rinse off the flux once it cools off. Okay, so my front triangle, or front quadrilateral, is together. It needs to be cleaned up a bit. You can see there's a lot of rust that built onto it when I soaked it in water to get the flux off. It's been less than 24 hours. This stuff really builds up fast, but it's pretty superficial. Comes off really easy. Here we go. Ah, much better. We're going to get this reamed and faced later on, so we don't need to make this one perfect. Okay, we're ready to start planning our rear triangle here. This is the type of wheel we're going to put on my father's bike. It's going to be a cruiser bike for going to McDonald's. Kind of defeats the purpose of riding a bike if you're going to ride to McDonald's, and also for doing rails to trails. So I'm proud to say my father does not wear spandex, and he's not going to be in a Peloton, and he's not going to be doing any single track. And of course we also have to take into account the fact that we have a seat tube. Alright, well this is probably about as close as you want to make it. So let's mark where this comes into the lug. So right about right there. Okay, let's go ahead and start cutting away. Let's give ourselves a little bit of a margin of error here, because it's easy to take stuff off, metal off. It's really hard to put it back on. Okay, so I cut it off, and I think we're okay. I think we're gonna make it. Don't think I cut too much off. Okay, so if you look at the flat surface of the dropouts, they're not quite parallel. Bending the dropouts is not a very delicate procedure. Just stick it in a clamp and yank. Pray that your braze is good, that it doesn't pop out of the joint. Oh, look at that. Perfect. Yeah, this one's pretty good. Okay, so our wheel is roughly center in the stays. And for brazing, we're actually going to set up a little makeshift jig made out of perforated steel and some C-clamps and a threaded rod. And it's easier to actually put it on and take it off upside down. Of course, the only reason why this jig works is because our down tube and our top tube, actually our top tube and our seat tube are the same diameter. Also, if our head tube and seat tube aren't the same plane, then forget it. Your jig is going to be off. Okay, so we have our jig set up, upside down. Okay, everything's braced together. Let's let it cool down and we'll double check our alignment. Okay, so everything's cooled down. Build everything back up. Checking our alignment. Itty bitty bit off on the chain stays. The tire's a little bit closer to the drive side chain stay. You can correct that later on, but what we call cold working, which is basically just bending the frame ever so slightly.